Hey, welcome. So I have something to show you today, a little exercise that I like to teach a lot around proprioception and the difference between proprioception and interoception. I'm live streaming on Facebook and also on YouTube right now, so my YouTube frame looks a little bit off. Sorry about that, but you'll still get the main, I think you'll get the main gist of it. So these two terms, by the way, interoception and proprioception, they used to be kind of like, the same thing. And it's been recently, like I would say in the past 15 years, that we've started to tease apart what these different functions are. Some people call them the sixth and the seventh sense. Proprioception being the sixth sense, interoception being the seventh. I think that's kind of interesting. But they're super important for living. So what's important? Proprioception has to do with where is my body in space, and can I move around the world without hurting myself, right? So proprioception is about, like, I don't know, here's my bolster. I don't know if you can see it. My proprioception is going to be like, I can walk around without even looking. I can walk around that bolster, and I didn't just like fall flat on my face, because my proprioceptors are doing work below the level of consciousness all the time, and they're going, hey, like there's something in the way there, and I can sense it, and I'm not going to hurt myself. So proprioceptors are super fast, lightning fast. They go straight up to your brain constantly. The fact that you are sitting up right now or standing and not falling over is because of your proprioceptors. They're amazing. I mean, we have to have proprioception, and we can build, and yoga is amazing for building proprioception, by the way. Really good practice for it. Interoception is different. Interoception is, how do I feel inside? And why is that important? Because when you know how you feel inside, then you make decisions based on that feeling. For example, your stomach goes, I haven't had breakfast yet, which is true. I haven't had breakfast yet today. I kind of need a little something, and it's going to motivate my behavior to change my system to bring it back to homeostasis, homeodynamic balance, right? So that's what interoception is so important for. Like, if your back is hurting you, you're not going to go like pull weeds out of the garden. You're going to do some, hopefully some yoga to help bring more balance to the system, reduce the pain, right? That's interoception, and it's different. So now that I've explained the difference between proprioception and interoception, let's talk about how you can do it in an exercise, a yoga practice. So we're going to use tree pose as an example. So come on over to your mat, or if you don't even need a mat for this. Just stand up if you're sitting down. And you can shift your weight over into your left foot and put your right foot on top of your left foot, or on your shin, if you like, and take the arms out to the side, and just stand here and balance. How's that? How are you doing there? Are you balancing? Okay, good. Now let's put that foot down, and then get firm in the right foot. Bend the left knee, put the left foot on top, maybe on the shin, maybe arms out or up. You can do whatever you want here. The main thing is, are you balanced? That's the thing. Could you do that? Ta-da! Proprioception is so important for sports, for athletics, for yoga. Like, anything I do is going to require proprioception. And the great thing about proprioception is I don't have to think about it. It works itself, thank goodness, because if it didn't work itself, you'd be hurting yourself all the time. And this is one of the things that I teach to behavioral health professionals. Yoga is such a great assessment tool. And this is good for yoga teachers to know too. If you ask somebody to take, which I just did, take your weight into your right foot and bend your left knee and put it on top of your left foot or your shin and take your arms out to the side. For some folks, that's a very complicated instruction. And what you'll see is people doing things like trying to get clear, trying to remember which is their right foot or their left foot. They're using their front brain, they don't remember. And then trying to figure out how to put their foot up, and then maybe the balance is off a little bit, not being able to get the balance, doing different awkward kind of looking things. So a lot of times we just say, oh, that person's not athletic, or that person doesn't, blah, 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 whatever. And the reality actually is that oftentimes it's an indicator of some kind of complex or developmental trauma. The person from those 0 to 3 years of age did not develop the proprioception necessary to get through their life without harming themselves. And that's typically because there was some kind of a disorganized attachment or some kind of a anxious or ambivalent attachment. It means that they didn't have the nurturing they needed at that time. So that's an important thing to use as it doesn't mean like you want to diagnose or treat anybody for their trauma based on it, but it helps to just so you understand somebody a little bit better, that they need, and I've worked with many people with complex and developmental trauma, they need slower instructions, more repetition, lots of validation for small successes, and that stuff can start to change, but it certainly is not as easy as somebody who had a positive, they had a secure attachment history in their early childhood, and they had more normal development. Okay, so anyway, that was a little proprioception exercise. Now let's do the interoception exercise. So coming back to my mat, wherever you want to be is fine. Shift your weight into your right foot, bend your left knee, and place the left foot on top of your left heel on top of your right foot, or you're welcome to come into a tree pose if you like, and take the arms up. Now, what I'd like you to notice is that your foot is doing a little wobbling. Do you feel that? How your foot is wobbling? And it's going fast, by the way. It moves in and out. Some folks, it's less wobbly than others. As you stay here longer, it might get a little more wobbly. What you're noticing right now are the proprioceptors. They're going, oh, I gotta adjust, keep me balanced, adjust. Of course, it has to do with the vestibular system, the balance system too. But just to keep it in the proprioception realm, that you're noticing the body sending signals back and forth and going, oh, adjust, lightning fast. Do the other side. Now, what's the interoception part of this? The interoception is your mind noticing your foot moving, which you probably were not noticing the first time we did it. You might have been, but probably you weren't. Because when you do exercises, or you do yoga fast, or you do, get on a cross trainer, or you play tennis or whatever, you don't spend a lot of time noticing what your body's doing, and that's good. That's neurofrugality. It's like the brain knows what it's doing, and thank goodness you don't have to think about it all the time. But when you start to pay attention, particularly in slow mindful yoga, this is what's going on. I'm feeling the sensations, I'm noticing. Now you're starting to build that interoceptive skill. And building interoception is critical for improving not only mental health, but all chronic diseases, because oftentimes faulty interoceptive capacity, which by the way can go take us right back to childhood again, and maybe one of the reasons we don't, and that complex trauma may be one of the reasons at the heart of this poor interoceptive skill set, and it can change. So you start to develop interoception by moving slowly, mindfully, noticing what you're doing. The interoceptive skills start to develop. Those skills are transferable, because now I pay attention to the signals in my body, and I respond to those signals to bring myself back to homeostasis, which then confers greater mental and physical health. It's really powerful stuff. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll be back with another tip next week. It's really nice to have you here. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions or anything about it. Okay, bye.